Howdy there, welcome back to the channel. My name's Evan, or EJ, you can call me either one. And today I'm going to be reviewing John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. I know I'm a few years late to this movie, but I hadn't seen the other John Wick movies until recently, the first two, and I just recently watched the third one, and with the fourth one coming out this year, and it being, on my now most anticipated movies of the year list, I figured I'd make a review about this. With all that being said, let's get into the review. So this movie actually follows in the last one's footprints and picks up like just a little bit after the last movie ended. Like the second one picked up like I think a day or two after the first one ended. This one looks like it picked up around the same time after the second one ended. And that's actually something I really like. Like it makes them feel a lot more connected and like the story is, really moving along. So I actually really like that. Okay, so shortly after the movie starts, John Wick heads into a library to get a ticket that he's been hiding in a book there. And while he's in there getting the ticket, this dude comes in there to fight him because obviously John Wick has a price on his head, and so all the but if I could just go one video without my brain just stopping, I think that would be pretty cool. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, all the assassins are trying to kill him, but uh, the price hasn't been placed on his head yet, but it's about to, and they know that. So this guy just goes for it anyway. Also, just want to say the guy that tries to kill him is massive. That dude's like 7 feet tall. What were they feeding him? Like Jesus Christ. But anyway, yeah. So a fight ensues, and first of all, the action in this movie is like incredible. Like the action throughout this entire trilogy so far has just been amazing. It's been some of the best action I've ever seen in any movies ever. And like that it's just as good as ever, if not better than it has been here. So that's really good to see. Um I don't know, I might just need to rewatch the first two, but to me the fights in this one felt like a lot more brutal than they did in the other two. Like the way he takes this guy out is he like jams a book in his mouth and just starts hitting it until his jaw dislocates, and then he breaks his neck. Yeah, this movie's violent, like very, very violent. Toby wanted to be in the video. What do you have to say for yourself, Toby? Very good. Another thing I actually really like about this movie is it just feels like it never slows down. Like it just feels like everything is constantly moving forward, and I really like that in a movie when it's like done well. So that's something I really enjoyed. Like there's like one moment I can think of where it feels like things slow down a little bit, but they pick back up again shortly after. So it doesn't really bother me that much or bring the movie down. Hey, stop fighting! Sorry, the cats were fighting, but yeah, it just really feels like it just keeps going, and I really like that about it. I just want to say Keanu Reeves is really good in this. I mean, he's been good in all three of them, so I don't think that's really a surprise to anyone. But yeah, he's always really good as this character, so I always really like seeing him return for the role. Um, I don't know. Does Keanu Reeves do all his own stunts? I think I saw somewhere that he does, but I can't remember if it was all of them or just a lot of them or what. But if he does all his own stunts, that's actually really impressive because I think the dude's in like his late 50s. So if he does actually do all his own stunts, that's really sick. Like that's dedication to a role at his age. So, but yeah, he's really good in this movie. Another person that was actually really good in this movie is Halle Berry. She's not in it for a super long time, but for the little bit of time that she is in it, she really stands out and is very good as the character she's playing. I think her name was Sophia or something like that. Um, Also, her and John have a really like sick action scene together where it's her and him against this whole like army of dudes, and her two dogs are helping too, and the whole thing is just like awesome. It's like one of my favorite sequences in the whole movie. So it's really it would be my favorite, but there's one other action sequence that just beats it out. But if that other sequence wasn't in there, this would be the my favorite one in the whole movie. Something else I noticed is that this movie feels like a lot bigger than the other two, and I'm very sure that's due to their budget rising because, the franchise is just continuing to get more popular as it goes on. So I assume their budgets are getting bigger and bigger with each movie. So I'm sure that's why. But like the action sequences feel like they're like a lot more expensive. Like there's one where John is fighting off like this whole bunch of dudes, and they're all on motorcycles, like driving down this bridge, and they're fighting with swords. Um, it, there's no way that was cheap to do. So yeah, this movie does feel like a whole lot bigger than the other two. Unfortunately, one of the movie's shortcomings is that I did feel like the villain. I can't remember what they kept calling her. I'll put it up on screen if I remember to. But the villain of the movie. I I felt like she was just kind of boring. I don't think she was bad or like anything like that. She just felt I was never really intimidated by her or anything like that. So I think she's probably like the weakest villain in the series as of now. Who knows? Maybe that could change by the time four rolls around. But as of the first three movies, I definitely think this one has the weakest villain of the bunch. I feel like the first one still has the strongest villain. I can't remember the guy's name. I just suck at remembering names in the series, don't I? Oh, well, but yeah, anyway, I feel like the guy in the first one has definitely been the strongest antagonist of the whole series so far. Um, Once again, I just want to say I don't think that she was bad. I don't think she didn't like bring my enjoyment of the movie down or anything like that. I just felt like it could have been stronger. So yeah, that's one of the unfortunate shortcomings of this movie. Now there is a secondary villain in the movie who's one of the assassins that's trying to kill John. Uh, I don't think I ever found out what his name was. Like if they said it, I straight up don't remember them saying it. I should probably stop to check for names before I do reviews, but you know what? Here we are. But anyway, yeah, the this like bald guy. He was really funny. Like after after him and John have that motorcycle fight that I mentioned earlier, um, he like talks to John in the lobby and he's just like telling him how big of a fan he is, and I just thought it was kind of funny. Also, at the end, after John beats him, he just goes, "Hey, John, that was a pretty good fight, huh?" Like it made me chuckle. I thought he was a pretty entertaining side villain. So yeah. Also, this is not really important and it doesn't really need to be said, but that dog that John got at the end of the first movie that's been with him for the next two, very good boy. That is all. Lawrence Fishburne returns for this one, reprising his role from the second movie. Um, he's not in this one a whole lot, but for the short time that he is in it, he's pretty good. He doesn't really do a ton, but it's Lawrence Fishburne. Of course, he's enjoyable when he's on screen. They do kind of fake you out and make you think he's dead, like halfway through the movie, but then he just comes back in like the final scene, which was something. Um, yeah, that's about all I got to say about it. I thought his inclusion was enjoyable enough. I feel like this also doesn't need to be said because everyone pretty much knows it. But John Wick is overpowered. Like the things they have this man doing in these movies, like it's not human. This dude should have been dead a long time ago. Like is it's insane the things that he manages to survive. Also, something I noticed is in this movie, uh, he seems to kick people in the nuts a lot. Maybe I'm exaggerating, and it was just like once or twice, but it felt like he kept kicking people in the nuts. Just an observation, but yeah, this dude is overpowered. Like, something else I didn't really like about it. Um, this doesn't really bring the quality of the movie down. It's just something I don't really like to see. There is both. There's a kind of a triple threat in There's eye violence, toenail violence, and finger violence, which are three things I don't like to see. A dude gets stabbed in the eyeball, it fully shows it. A chick just rips her toenail off, it fully shows it. What was the other one? Oh yeah, John chops his finger off. I didn't want to see any of those things, but I did, and I have to live with that now. So thank you, John Wick Chapter 3. Um, Once again, not like criticisms of the movie, but just things I did not want to see today. But now I have, so here we are, I guess. Oh yeah, now I want to talk about the final battle of the movie. Whenever we got to the final battle, um, I was obviously like, okay, yeah, this is very clearly the climax. But then I checked how long there was left in the movie. There was half an hour left. The final battle of this movie goes for like 25 minutes straight, and then there's like a 5-minute outro for the movie. It and it's insane too. Like so many people die. John and the guy that works in the lobby of the Continental, I can't remember his name, but Lance Reddick's character, him and John are fighting these dudes that are wearing like fully bulletproof armor, and it's sick, dude. Like the fight choreography in these movies is awesome. Like the way they handle weapons just always looks so cool. Like I just can't stress enough how good the action in these movies always is. Like every time I've sat through all three of them so far, and I have not been disappointed by like a single action scene. And I think that's pretty impressive. The fact that I haven't seen one action scene that I thought was just like lackluster. But yeah, that's just all I wanted to say. The final battle is insane for this movie. Now by the end of the movie, and I mean like the very end, like the final shot, our boy John is looking a little bit worse for wear, uh, because he gets shot a few times and knocked off a roof. And remember earlier when I said he's OP and there's things that should just straight up kill him? Yeah, this is one of them. It's not one of those ones where he like, you know, lands on a bunch of things on the way down and they manage to break his fall and slow down his fall. No, he does hit things, but they're all very far apart and they should have killed him. He should be dead. I'm just gonna put the clip in right here. Here you go. That man is still alive. He gets up and walks away. Well, I guess he doesn't get up and walk away. Like a homeless man gets him and brings him back to Lawrence Fishburne's character. Um, so yeah, like this dude straight up should have died, but I'm glad he didn't because I'm excited for 4. Um, Speaking of that, yeah, John Wick Chapter 4 is coming out in like March or May, I think. I'm very, very excited for that. I need to rewatch the trailer because I actually don't remember a whole lot about it. So, but watching this movie just got me that much more excited for it. I'm now fully caught up with everybody else on this. For the longest time, I just haven't been able to watch these movies, and I've finally gotten around to it. And man, I was missing out. This is a great trilogy of movies. I really hope the fourth one is as good as these. Um, I think that about wraps up the review. Feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you don't want to miss any of my future uploads. I usually upload every Sunday, or I try to at least. That's about all I got for you today. See ya.